Well, that's it. We just got done picking green beans here, and me and Candace were talking, and we just realized we have never actually shot a video of how to can green beans. So we're going to take you through the whole process today. First step, we're going to go inside and wash up these nice pile of green beans. Green beans are actually a really easy thing to can, and I know if you guys have your garden just going mad like ours is right now, you've probably got green beans to process too. Super simple. We're going to pressure can these green beans. You want to pressure can your green beans. You can't water bath them. We're going to show you how right now.
We got our green beans inside. We're just going to give them a good washing up, and then we'll be ready to snap them. I'm going to dump them in my colander here, and I was kind of afraid that would happen.
We figured it was such a nice day out here today that we're going to can our beans outside today. And Candace is going to show you how to snap those beans.
So I've got my bean here, I've got my bowl of beans, I've got my trash bowl, and I've got my clean bowl for these beans that we're going to can today. I'm just going to snap off that little end that had some of that stem still on there, get rid of that, and then snap them into about 2-inch pieces and put them in the bowl. As easy as that.
Now, repeat that 9,000 times for this whole bowl of green beans here, and you've got yourself a whole mess of beans ready to can up.
So green beans are an easy way to get into pressure canning if you haven't done a lot of it and you're a beginner. Green beans are a great crop to start with. There's not a lot that you need to prepare with them. It's fairly simple. No odd recipes or ingredients that you need. It's one of the easier things to can. So for those of you out there who are just starting gardening and canning, green beans is a great way to get started.
The last bean.
That's it for snapping.
We got all our beans snapped here. Now we're going to get our jars and our canner and start canning this stuff.
So we don't like anything to go to waste around here, so a great thing to do with this is feed it to your chickens, or if you don't have chickens, you can put it in your compost. Here they come. Nope. I'm going to fill this pan with water and put it on the stove to boil, because once we get our jars packed, we're going to need to put boiling water into the jars of beans. While this water is coming to a boil, I'm going to get my jars out. I have them in the dishwasher right now to be cleaned and so that they're warm. So we're going to get those out of the dishwasher and start packing the beans in. Got my jar all nice and warm here, and we're going to start packing it full of beans. So you want to tightly pack your jars because you don't want wasted space and using more jars than what you really need to. So I'm going to pack these in the best I can. Alright, our water is boiling. We're ready to put the water into the jars with the green beans. I'm just going to use my ladle here and ladle the water in, and that's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to put my boiling water in here and leave about a 1/2 inch head space. So at this point when you're adding your water, you could add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt per pint, so a teaspoon per quart. That's just for taste, and we choose not to put the salt in ours, but if you like to do that, then this is when you would do it. I'm going to continue filling these jars, and then we are going to wipe the rims and put the lids on and take them out to the canner. Before you put your lids on, you're going to want to remove the air bubbles in the jars. I just take this chopstick and kind of press it down the sides, and then it kind of releases the bubbles up, and I get get some of that air out of there. And then you're going to top off the jars as needed. My next step is I'm going to take a paper towel and I put a little bit of vinegar on it. And I just take that to wipe the rims. That way we get a good seal when we're canning. I've got my clean rings here and my brand new lids, and we're just going to put them on finger tight. You don't want to tighten them down too tight. Just finger tight. All right, we are ready to go put these in the canner. Let's do it.
All right, we got our canner here, and we're gonna take the lid off, and you guys just wanna make sure you have your rack in the bottom. It looks just like this. It's the same rack. Just make sure your rack's in the bottom and the jars don't sit on the very bottom of the canner body itself. Also, you need to put in 3 quarts of water. I measured out 3 quarts in the house and just put it in this pan quick, but we're gonna add 3 quarts of water. One other thing that we add here is a shot of lemon juice to the water. It just helps to keep the pan from turning black on the inside. We have well water here, and sometimes the inside of our canner will turn black. But if you add this little bit of, just a little bit, you don't need very much, just a shot like that. That's all you need, and it keeps that inside of the canner clean for you. So we're gonna put our jars in, and they are not too terribly hot. We ended up with 8 pints of green beans, and me and Candace were just talking. I think that's a record for us. Might not be to some of you guys, but we think that is pretty cool. So there you go. We are going to put our lid on. Make sure that's good and sealed there. I've got our burner set up on the other side of the barn. There's a little bit of a breeze right here right now, so I was just trying to keep the burner out of the breeze, but we're going to take this and go put it on our burner. We got our canner set up here. We're going to get this burner on, and we're going to get this boiling, and we're going to let the steam come out of the vent here for 10 minutes. Once we see steam start coming out of the vent, we're going to time it for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes is up, we're going to put our 10-pound weight on. We got steam coming out of the vent now. We're going to set our timer for 10 minutes, and then we're going to put our weight on. And then once the weight is on, once it starts jiggling, then we will process for 20 minutes. We've let this vent for 10 minutes. We're going to put our 10-pound weight on. We're going to wait for this to start shaking, and then we're going to set our timer for 20 minutes. All right, we're jiggling now, guys. So we're going to set our timer for 20 minutes. And then we are going to shut off the heat and let this decompress naturally. All right, our 20 minutes is up, and we're going to just shut off the heat. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to mess with it at all. We're just turning the heat off. We're going to let this depressurize on its own. We're not going to touch it or anything. There is a safety lock on this handle right here, and the knob is up right now. Once this depressurizes, and the knob goes down, we will take the weight off and we'll open up the canner and we will remove our green beans from there. So we're just going to let this set for a few minutes and we'll be right back with you. Okay, our canner has depressurized. We're going to take our weight off. Just going to set that aside, and then we're going to open up the lid and make sure, guys, some steam can kind of come out when you take the lid off, so make sure you have some hot pads on. I should probably have long sleeves on or something, but I don't right now. See, there we go. this is still going to be really hot, so you got to be real careful when you take these out. So we just got our, what do you call these, Candace? Getters?
Jar grabbers.
Jar grabbers. We're going to take our jar grabber. And we don't want to mess with these at all. We just want to put them in a box. We're going to take them back in the house. We're going to let them set. And we're going to make sure we don't do anything to them. We want to let these guys just cool down for 24 hours. It looks fantastic. All right, we got our 8 pints of green beans here. We're going to take them in the house. We're not going to touch them, not going to do anything with them. We're just going to let them set and chill for 24 hours. It was awesome to be able to show you guys how we do our green beans here at Gagne Farms. I hope you learned something. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we will catch you on the next one.